July 2014. A 28-year-old German man named Lars Mittank became the subject of the most watched missing persons footage in history. Millions of people have stared at this grainy CCTV video, trying to solve a puzzle that has no pieces. He wasn't a criminal. He wasn't carrying drugs. And on the camera footage, there is absolutely no one chasing him. So why did he climb a barbed wire fence and run into a field of sunflowers, never to be seen again? It all started at the Golden Sands Resort in Varna, Bulgaria. Lars was there with his high school friends, doing what 20-somethings do on vacation, drinking, watching football, and enjoying the sun. Lars was known as a normal, quiet guy. He had a good job at a power plant and lived with his parents. But on July 6th, the vacation took a dark turn. Lars got into a disagreement with a group of fans from a rival football team. It seemed like a minor scuffle, but it ended with Lars getting punched in the side of the head. The punch didn't just hurt, it burst his eardrum. When Lars went to a local doctor, the news was worse than he expected. Because of the pressure changes in an airplane cabin, the doctor told him he couldn't fly home yet. Now alone in a foreign country, Lars checked into a cheap hotel near the airport called Hotel Color. This is where the story shifts from a medical issue to a psychological thriller. At 1 a.m., Lars called his mother. But he wasn't calling to say goodnight. He was whispering. He told her he felt unsafe. He claimed 4 men were following him, and he begged her to cancel his credit cards. He spent the entire night hiding in the dark, watching the hallway. At one point, he texted his mother asking, "What is cefuroxime 500?" On the morning of July 8th, Lars took a taxi to Varna Airport. He seemed calmer. He went into the airport's medical office to get a final checkup so he could finally fly home. For 45 minutes, everything was normal. Then a construction worker entered the room to discuss some renovations. Suddenly, Lars's face went white. He stood up and shouted, "I don't want to die here! I have to get out of here!" He didn't just walk out. He ran. He sprinted through the entire terminal, dodging travelers and security. This is the moment captured on camera. Lars runs out the airport's front doors. He reaches a 2.5-meter tall fence topped with barbed wire. Beyond that fence was a massive field of sunflowers, some taller than a human. Lars ran into the yellow blossoms and vanished. He didn't look back. He didn't wave for help. He just disappeared. The search was massive. Private investigators, police dogs, and drones scanned the area. They found nothing. No body, no clothing, no sign of a struggle. This leads us to the theories. The first is the mafia theory. Varna is a port city, and some believe Lars accidentally witnessed a drug deal or offended the wrong people at the Golden Sands Resort. Perhaps the 4 men he saw were real, and they caught him in that field. But there's a problem with this. Why wouldn't they just take him at the hotel? Why wait for him to go to the most public high-security place in the city, the airport? The second theory is the psychological break. Using behavioral economics, we can look at Lars through the lens of a hot state. In psychology, a hot state is when your emotions, like fear or hunger, completely take over your rational decision-making. If the antibiotic cefuroxime caused Lars to hallucinate, his brain would have entered a feedback loop of terror. To him, every stranger was an assassin. Every noise was a gunshot. In this state, your brain deletes reality to focus on the perceived threat. Some believe Lars is still alive, living as a homeless man with amnesia. This happens more often than you'd think. In 2019, a man was found in a German village who looked remarkably like Lars, but DNA tests proved it wasn't him. The final, most tragic theory is that Lars simply died in the woods or the field from a medical complication related to his eardrum, or the cefuroxime psychosis. The Bulgarian countryside is vast, and a body can be hidden by nature very quickly. To this day, Lars's mother, Sandra Mittank, has never stopped looking. She keeps his bedroom exactly as he left it. She still believes her son is out there, waiting to be found. Every year, new internet sleuths watch the footage and post their theories. They point to his yellow shirt, the way he looked at the construction worker, the speed of his run. But without Lars, they are just staring at a ghost. If you found this case fascinating, check out our video on the Eileen Moore Lighthouse Mystery, where 3 men vanished from a locked island. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious disappearances. Thanks for watching.